Hi, hi everybody. My name is Dan, and I'm talking today about. Well, I've set up this page to talk about options recovery services in Berkeley, California. This is probably one of the most insidious programs ever devised by anybody. Basically, what they've done is set up a supposed recovery program that takes people from the courts. People get busted for like having a little ticket for beer or some joints or something like that, and then they go before the judge, and the judge says, "Well, you can stay in court in jail and fight this, or you can go to options recovery, and we'll let you out today." And so what happens is a poor sap signs the paper, goes to options recovery, and then spends the next 6 months, 8 months in and out of jail, being, humiliated, talked down to, starved. They have to, this is a homeless person, has to go in there at 9 o'clock, stay there till 1. I don't know, it could be later now. I haven't been over there. I was actually in the program some years back, and, so the things they did to me, um, you know, it was unbelievable. And this Dr. Davida Cody, who we call the Dr. Mengele of the East Bay. She actually, on their website, she has a quote from somebody I respected quite highly, Father Bill O'Donnell, when he was alive, and he calls her the Mother Teresa of the East Bay. And you know, I guess he falls for the big show she puts on every year for everybody, like everybody else does in this town. All the people that aren't her victims, they get this big show, this graduation show every year that she puts out to make her look like she's doing such a great job, when really they don't show the 120 people shell shocked, Stockholm syndrome, uh, you know, uh, people that are just, would say anything just to, so she would leave them alone and not hurt them anymore. When you go to jail, you don't sit there and, think about your, changing your ways. You get beat by, you know, gangbangers from the worst parts of the East Bay. You get brutalized. We had one person, they put him in a cell. He got his brain smashed all over the cell. These people have blood on their hands, and their basic job is to push people out of Berkeley that don't have money. If you're poor, if you're a homeless person in Berkeley, you got to go. And it wasn't working before, but then they hit up on this options thing, and the options thing has worked. Telegraph Avenue now is empty. There's no more people up there. And the businesses are all failing. And they're like, why are we failing? Because people used to come up there for this cool scene and all, this culture of exchanging ideas, and poor people and rich people and students and travelers and everybody sitting in cafes and people playing music on the streets, and that's all over now because of and conversations. This is over now, thanks to options recovery. These, this Dr. Davida Cody, she said about me, I'm an amputee. In 1984, I was in a motorcycle accident, and when I got out of the hospital, they gave me a pair of crutches and said, "Good luck. My parents are dead. I have nowhere to go." So I spent the next 8, 9 years on the streets. And Dr. Davida Cody said he needs to feel the pain of his alcoholism. Like, I'm not in enough pain already, you know? Like, I wasn't in enough pain already. Crutching around on one leg, sleeping on a sidewalk, getting kicked awake by the police at 3 o'clock in the morning, all because I'm disabled. You know what I mean? I'm not a criminal. And that lady treated me like a criminal and put me in jail, put me in solitary confinement in jail, all right, for months and months, for like drinking a beer. The one time I went to a bar, I got in an argument with the guy because he didn't like it because I looked like I was homeless, and so he goes to kick me out, and he went to grab my beer. I grabbed the beer, it spilled on him. They charged me with assault with a deadly weapon. Can you believe that? It's a true story. This is what goes on out there. This is what goes on with people. You wonder why they're crazy? They talk about inappropriate street behavior. Why are they yelling out there in the streets? They're completely fragmented from this treatment. They're treated like animals. I was treated like an animal. You know, I'm doing great now. I've been working for the homeless for the last 7 years. I've been indoors. I got a wife and kids. I got a nice house. You know, things are going well for me. But I never forget what those people did to me and what they're still doing to people every day, right now. You know, recently our mayor in Berkeley said that he wanted to, he started this thing called the Public Commons for Everyone initiative. And one of the main things was they wanted to make it illegal for people to sit on the sidewalk. All right? And Options Recovery and Dr. DeVita Cody were right there saying, that's a great idea, Mayor. It's a great idea to make it illegal for someone to sit. Because we've already got all the people that were drinking beers and smoking joints, and now we need to get them some other way, because the only people that are left are just people that are out there sitting, people that aren't drug addicts. So what can we do? So the mayor is trying to pass a law making it illegal to sit, and that people that are busted for this law have to go through diversion, a diversion program to teach you not to sit. You know, what kind of crap is that? What kind of country are we living in? That's like fascist, crazy nuttiness. And Dr. DeVita Cody and Tom Gorham were in there. Tom Gorham is the alcoholic guy. Dr. DeVita Cody is an alcoholic, and so is Tom, and so am I. But Dr. DeVita Cody and Tom Gorham were in there going, this is a great idea. And then they tried to take all the money from all the food programs in Berkeley and shift it over to her program. And now get this. When I spoke up against it, I said, you know, I think that's a big slap in the face to service providers in Berkeley to do that. 2 days later, I got a thing in the mail. Well, it was actually a week later, but 2 days later, I looked on the form. It was filed 2 days after I spoke up at the city council. I got a thing in the mail that I had to go to court for a ticket that was dismissed 6 months earlier. All right? And then when I got to court the other day, they said, yeah, you got to go to this other court. And it just happens to be the court where Dr. DeVita Cody works out of. And that's supposed to be a coincidence. All right? This is the abuse of power of these people. They're trying to shut me up. They're trying to suppress my right to freedom of speech right here in Berkeley, California, the place that's supposed to be the birthplace of free speech. Woohoo! U.S.A. U.S.A. This is the fascist crap that's going on in this country right now. And if it's happening in Berkeley, I can just imagine what's going on out there. You know, if you got something to say, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a video response. Leave a text response. God bless you all. You know, when you see homeless people out there, remember, 90% of those people are disabled people that never got a dime that they were guaranteed by the government when they were taking money out of their paychecks. Just think of that. And it could happen to you, or it could happen to one of your kids or one of your grandchildren. You know, and by 2050, 50% of all of our children will be either in prison, in jail, or on parole. Think about that. Things have got to change in this country. God bless you all.